Hey, what's going on? So I just got done with a call with one of our clients, and we were just going over some of his numbers from 2023 and just crunching some math, trying to figure out his numbers as far as marketing goes for his construction company. It's such an easy example to understand because all of his numbers happen to be really round numbers. So I thought this might be a good opportunity to just show you how we break down some of these numbers to understand what's going on in the business and help give us some guidance on what we should do with marketing. So I'm going to record my iPad screen so that I can write on it. And so we'll make sure that you can see that. And then I got my calculator out here so I can crunch some of this stuff. Okay, so this client in 2022, last year, they spent exactly $10,000 with our marketing company. And we built for them our foundational marketing system. So that's the website, Google Maps, and what's called search engine optimization. Basically, this setup is designed to make it so that people can find them online, so that people call them. Rather than buying leads or doing advertising or something like this, they just get people going to their website and filling out their contact form. So those are the leads we counted, were their contact form leads. They got a bunch of phone calls and things like that too, but we didn't track those. So we're only counting the contact form leads. But that's okay for this example. It's better to be conservative anyway. So they spent $10,000 with us last year and they got 40 leads. And so we can say that 10,000 divided by 40 is 250. So they spent $250 per lead. So that could sound like a lot to you. Maybe it sounds like a little. It depends. But the thing is that number doesn't matter on its own. And so after talking to the client, they said that of those 40 leads, 10 of them became jobs. And so that would be 1/4 of the leads became jobs, 25%. And their average profit from a job is $8,000. Okay. So let's see, if 1/4 of the leads closed, turn into jobs, that's 10 jobs. So that means they made 80,000 from their website last year. And they spent 10,000, and so that's an 8-to-1 return. So that's a pretty good return on your investment. You know, if I could put $1,000 somewhere and get 8,000 back, I'd be pretty happy. Those are really good numbers. What else can we get out of this? We can figure out how much a lead is worth to them, which is kind of a cool number to know. So all we have to do is, if 1 out of 4 leads closes and a close is worth 8,000, we just divide that 8,000 divided by 4. So that equals $2,000. So that means a lead to them, or one of these 40 leads to them, was worth $2,000. So that all of a sudden that $250 a lead isn't looking so bad, right? If you can crunch all your numbers from a year and see that one lead was worth $2,000 to you, now all of a sudden it's not out of the realm of being reasonable to pay $250 to acquire or to get a lead. So what else would this tell me? So from a planning perspective, knowing your average profit per job is a really good number to know. And all you have to do to find that one out is look at like the total profit that you made last year. You know, let's just say you made 200,000 profit. And just for the sake of easy math, let's say that you had 50 customers. And so you would just divide that 200K by 50. And I'm not great at math, so I am going to use my calculator. So that's 4,000. So if you made 200 grand and you had 50 customers, then your average customer value is $4,000. And if it takes 4 leads to close a deal, 4 leads to close, then you're looking at 1,000 a lead right off the bat. What I always like to ask people is, you know, once you crunch all these numbers, you have to think about this question. Like if I just had a store where you could go and buy customers, and you know, if these were your numbers, you knew that you were going to make $4,000 per customer. So if there was just a store, you could buy as many customers as you want. How much would it make sense for you to pay to acquire a customer before it ate too far into your margins for it to be worth it? And what that means is, like, let's say you go to the store, you're not going to spend $4,000 to get a customer if you're going to make $4,000 from that customer. You're going to end up breaking even. And maybe you wouldn't even spend $3,000 to acquire a customer, because $1,000 profit might not be worth the hassle to talk to this person to give them an estimate and to complete their project. Maybe 2,000 wouldn't be enough. But maybe you would pay $1,000 to acquire a customer and still make 3,000 profit. Maybe that would be worth it to you. So once you have all these numbers in hand, you can think about that question. How much could you spend to acquire a customer and still be happy? And then that's your guidepost for marketing. Because if you decide that you can spend $1,000 to acquire a customer and you know it takes 4 leads for you to get an actual customer, then you could pay $250 per lead all day long and be happy. Last thing I'll say is to keep in mind that these numbers are a snapshot. You should run these numbers once a year, maybe once a quarter if you've got a lot of volume coming through or if things are changing a lot. But I run these numbers at the end of the year, and that's a snapshot for my business for this last year. If we get a new lead source or we start charging more for our services, these numbers are going to change drastically. And so that's just something to keep in mind. So, if math isn't your strong suit, I know it's not for me. It took me a long time for these numbers to really make sense, and hopefully they seem simple to you. But if you have any questions, throw them in the comment section and I'll do my best to help you out. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.